I was deciding if whether or not I should make this video, and you know what? Screw it. I know probably someone is going to try to use this against me. That's one of the reasons of why I recording this video in English, because probably most of the people that would try to do that don't really understand English, and I don't think they want to spend an hour of their lives watching the shit and then finding out a way to translate it. So yeah, I felt like I needed to talk, you know, but when I try to talk to people, my words get stuck, right? I can't really say what I'm thinking because being in front of someone makes it harder to behave as yourself alone. And that's why I'm here, talking to a camera, maybe expecting someone to watch this and understand this, even if I don't understand myself. And I think there should be somewhere to start, right? I don't know what's the exact start of this story, because this is not a story itself. It's just like a series of unfortunate events, one after the other, and they just gather around my head and become something so unpleasant, and I don't know how to handle it, and I feel alone, and I feel like the world turned its back on me, which is okay because I turned my back on the world some time ago. I was cruel. I behaved in a bad way with people that love me. And now I think I'm paying for it, probably, I don't know. When I was like 13, probably, it all started. I mean, it's not like a specific event that made my mind go in the wrong way. I think people, everyone's mind is different, right? And we all process events in different ways, and our minds behave in different ways. So my mind is from the ones that don't know how to handle a lot of things, and I go mad, and I don't know what to do, right? So when I was 13, I started hurting myself and trying to kill myself, which didn't work, of course, because I'm here. But I feel like my mind started getting broken, and I don't know why. I might have an idea, but that doesn't mean that is the main cause of all of my problems, you see. So when I was probably 15 or 14, I met some guys and I loved them, right? Or, well, as much as you can love someone being 15. And that's how I found out that love for me in that time was some sort of sick obsession which didn't allow me to live peacefully. I needed their attention, you see. I needed them to talk to me so I could feel okay about myself. And if they didn't talk to me, it was like, what's wrong? Did I say something wrong? Did I do something wrong? Am I ugly? Or have you found someone else? That was some of the main causes of my actual problems. One of the guys had a girlfriend, so I was the other girl, and he was like, oh yeah, I'm going to leave her for you. Of course, he never left her for me. It's funny that we are seeking love in someone we met cheating, right? But yeah, that's the general story. And that's all of that came together in a way that I don't like. I reached the point where I felt I was not enough for them, for me. I was not enough. I was never enough. I felt ugly and not worth it. And I was like, why would someone want to be with me? Like, really, why? I can't understand it. Until nowadays, I feel that way sometimes, even now. And I think it's because people, when you meet a lot of people and when you seek for attention in a lot of people, you start getting lost in your own desires and in your own self. You don't even know what you're seeking. You have their attention and you don't know how to handle it. You don't know what to do with it. It's just like, yeah, I have his attention and now what do I do? Is it useful? It's not. It's not useful because you will get bored. That's not love. You will get bored because you were just seeking for immediate happiness and attention. And when you meet a lot of people in that way, you give them a part of yourself, something that should only belong to you, something that has a lot of value, and they can't even understand what it is. They don't even know that you're giving them one part of you that you need. So you just go through life giving parts of you to strangers, and in the end you end up feeling empty and broken, and you don't know what to do. You don't know how to gather all of your parts together again. You don't even know if they exist anymore. And that's how I feel. I feel like I was looking for something that I felt I needed with desperation, and I didn't know what it was. I thought it was a person, but it's not a person. A situation. There is no situation that can fulfill my soul, actually. I don't know what I was looking for, but of course I didn't find it. I didn't find it, and now I'm here trying to bring all this stuff together. And you may ask why I started like 10 years ago. Well, because that type of behaviors, the pattern of how I behave, is basically the same 10 years later nowadays. I don't like the way I behave when I am with someone, especially if it's someone that I like, because I try so hard to get them to like me, even if I end up not liking myself. That's what happened recently. I was behaving in a way I regret. I don't like it. It's disgusting. I don't like how I behave when I'm with someone I like. It's not the true me. So believe it or not, acting as an idiot is also a way of self-defense, and that's what I did. I acted like an idiot, and I end up believing that I was stupid. Really, I acted like that for a long time, so I started believing I was an idiot. And then people started believing I was an idiot too, like a bad joke. And when I tried to be taken seriously again, I couldn't. They couldn't see me in any other way because I was the idiot, you know. I felt like a mannequin in a showcase, something that you stare at when you're passing by a store. You just look at it. You may like it, but it's not useful. I mean, who wants a mannequin in their lives? And the last couple of days have been really, really weird, really uncomfortable. I knew, I knew this was going to happen, and I still allowed myself to get excited about it. I still allowed the situation to get this far. Fucking car. I still allowed the situation to get this far and make me feel bad about myself. I knew there were going to be consequences for this, and I didn't care. It was just like, oh my god, this is so exciting. I need these emotions in my life. And I had them. I mean, when you seek for attention, you end up learning how to get it, right? And I might not be the most beautiful person in earth, of course I'm not, at least from my perspective. But I'm also not the most horrible, so it's quite easy to get someone to like you, right? I learned how to do that, and then I had the attention I wanted, and I didn't know how to do with it later. I mean, now I don't know what to do with it. And that's the point, right? I was seeking for crazy emotions or things like that. And emotions are in the surface of you. They are instant. Like when you see someone you like, you feel an emotion like, oh my god. You know what I'm saying? But feelings are different. Emotions are very chaotic and very intense. Feelings are intense too, but not in that desperate, obsessive way. My emotions are like that. They don't allow me to live peacefully. I get obsessed. I get upset with me for acting like that. And I allowed my emotions to morph into feelings slowly because it's a slow process. And I didn't want it to. I was so confident about myself, like, I don't have any feelings, I'm a rock or something. But I'm not. I'm human. And maybe it's not a voluntary action, but I was seeking for attention, specifically for love. And I thought, in some part of my head, which I'm ashamed of course, maybe this will work, you know, maybe this will become love sometimes, someday. But of course it didn't. This is not the right way to find love. I think love exists, you know. Of course it does, but I'm referring to romantic love. I think it exists, but I don't understand it. We are humans, and humans are selfish, you know. Even with your friends, they will stop talking to you when you're not useful for them anymore. And we need company. We're humans, I mean, we need company so we don't get mad or that our minds don't get broken. And we find people that are somehow similar to us, people that we might like, some more than others, but you learn things from people. Sometimes it is a very hard lesson, like the one that I learned recently. I used to be very cruel and don't really think about the consequences of my actions. I heard people that actually were trying to understand me and that actually liked me for what I was, not for how I looked, because that's another issue. I feel people only get close to me because they want something from me, something that has to do with my physical appearance. And that happens a lot. I have done that too. When you like someone, you might find that person particularly interesting or particularly funny, and then you realize that if you met someone the exact same way, I mean personality, but you didn't like them, you wouldn't like their personality. There it was going to be like, he's not funny, he's an idiot, or he's not interesting, he's just being picky, So I wonder, how would love be if we were all blind? How would I be if I was blind? Of course I don't want to get blind to experience it, right? But I don't know how to handle it. The last days I was like ripping my hair off, and I was confused, and I saw things I didn't want it to see, and I knew this was going to happen, but I didn't expect it to be this bad, because it's a very uncomfortable feeling. I don't find peace. Even if I'm sleeping, I have nightmares, I have recurrent dreams. And I still have hope, Even now that I have seen the truth, I still have hope of things to change, but of course they are not gonna change. They have to be this way. And I refuse to think that things were meant to be this way. It was like, this has to be a mistake. But there is no mistake. I brought myself into all this shit, into all this chaos for my behavior, my pattern of behaving around people. I wanted to be listened, even if there was not anyone in front of me. As I said, I felt the world turn its back on me right now, when I needed to talk, when I needed them, when I needed all the attention I gathered throughout the years. I feel like they just see me as something that you're supposed to use once and then throw it to the garbage or something like that. I don't know how to be alone. I like myself, I enjoy my own company as right now, but I don't know how to be alone. Unconsciously I'm seeking for attention, even when I say I'm not. I'm still doing it. And there is always someone that will come to you. There is always someone. It doesn't matter if you're old or young or pretty. It doesn't matter. So I don't know how to handle loneliness, but I'm lonely. I'm alone. All this time I have been alone. All of us are alone. You see, sometimes there might be someone that will listen to you, or someone that wants to share their time with you, what they have been through. But that doesn't mean that they are going to feel pain when you feel pain. That doesn't mean they want to support you every single time that you get broken, which lately happens a lot. There is always a way to gather all your pieces together and move on if you wish. But that also doesn't mean that you're going to gather all the parts you say. As I told you, I feel like there are parts of me that never came back. I gave them to someone, they took it away, and they just disappeared. I think I might have to make them again. Make them is not the right word. I have to create them again, right? And as far as I don't like being alone, I don't know how to handle company either. With the last couple of events, I realized I don't know how to handle company, and that always ends up hurting someone, either me or the other person. And I don't think people are meant to be used. I mean, they are meant to be useful. They need to teach you something about yourself, right? But they are not things that you use once and then throw to the garbage. People have done that to me, and I don't like it. I don't like it. And I had to see myself reflected in someone else. Someone I didn't expect to, but I learned the lesson. I saw myself in someone else the exact same way I behaved, and I didn't enjoy it, and I didn't like it, and I was so angry at myself, so disgusted, like, I'm horrible. What can I do? I'm trying to not get broken anymore, but I don't know how. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know how to stop thinking that my emotions are feelings. My self-esteem is like a distorted version of me. I don't feel confident. I feel like nobody really wants to be with me or around me. I don't know what's going on, really. I try to understand. That's why I'm making this. Talking to myself makes it easier. You know, it makes easier to understand what the fuck is going on. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. And I have everything to be happy. I have a family. There is some people that love me for real. And I'm just trying so hard to get love from the wrong place, really. I don't know why. I'm selfish. My ego is hurt, very hurt. It's like, you will never be that girl. What girl? The girl someone falls in love in a good way, and that the girl that someone cares for real. I'm not that girl. I gave too much. I don't know if what I gave is actually useful, but I gave too much. I tried to tell my real feelings or act as myself in front of someone, and they laughed at me, and I ended up feeling naked and used, even if they never really touched me. I ended up feeling like that, as an object, and I can't handle that, you see. I think we all need time for ourselves to get healed. We need to talk to us. We need to be sincere to us. It's alright, you know. I tried to pretend that nothing was wrong, like, oh, I'm so strong, I'm a bitch, you know. I don't care for anyone. They can't hurt me, but they can hurt me. Actually, I'm hurt. And it is hard to admit that people can hurt you in this way, that you're vulnerable, that you're human, that you feel things, because that's how we are. We feel, even if we don't want to, unless you are like a very special case, a psychopath or something. You will always get hurt, and that is alright, because you need to feel pain to understand a lot of things. You need to accept that you're hurt. You need to accept that you can hurt other people and not enjoy it, because there was a time where I would enjoy hurting other people, and that is something I regret, but I'm already paying for that, for sure. I don't know what else could I say. I might contradict myself a lot, because that's what happens when I talk. That's what I have noticed, and that's what people have told me. You contradict yourself. Yes, I know. It's hard. It's hard to elaborate the whole story, because this is not a story. I'm trying to find out my way in my mental labyrinth. I'm seeking for a way out of it, or maybe no. You can't escape from your own self. I tried that a lot of times in a lot of different ways, and it never worked. I mean, it worked for 6 hours probably, but it doesn't work. You can't just escape from your own self. I also found out that there is a lot of people that feel the same way as me, and they also don't know how to say it without sounding stupid. But if you're afraid of sounding stupid, you will never have fun. No, you will never find out what's wrong with you. Our desperation makes us something we don't like. In my case, it made me some sick attention seeker, if that makes sense. In other cases, like a friend of mine, he became so aggressive because he didn't know how to handle an intense emotion, and he ended up alone as me. Like, oh, I screwed everything up. Yeah, I did the same. I don't know why I expected it to be different, because I showed the most unpleasant part of me to someone, and I was expecting that someone might understand it and like it, but no, of course not. We're not trash cans, you see. It's alright that you need to be sincere towards people, but there's always some part of you that you shouldn't show. because you will regret it, and because they will try to use it against you when the time comes. Not everyone is that way, not everyone is bad. I try not to be that way. I'm not the best person, of course I'm not, but I don't think I'm evil. I just think I am stupid and that I am still learning how to behave, and I am still learning to understand the consequences of my own actions. As now there is no way back. I can't go back from where I came from, and even if I could, I wouldn't, because even if I regret a lot of these things, they have made me what I am right now. I think I'm better than I was 2 or 3 years ago, when I was unconscious and trying to kill myself. Not like voluntary killing myself, but you know what I'm talking about, right? And if someone has made it this far in the video and in life, I guess you should keep trying. You have to break the patterns of behavior in your mind, the ones that you feel don't let you live in a good way, the ones that hurt you. We are the ones that hurt ourselves the most. You say, someone might come and say, oh, you're ugly, oh, you're fat, you are unpleasant to watch, you're unpleasant to be with. But if you don't care, and if you know what you are, that doesn't matter. And it's funny because this time nobody came to say that things to me. Nobody came to say that. There were just actions that I saw which were telling me that, like, I don't want to be with you, please go away. And I took it so personal and I got so hurt. But it was only my mind. It was only me. I was the one that hurt myself the most, as I used to do physically 10 years ago. Now my mind is the one hurting me all the time, overthinking that doesn't let me live. I feel like my mind is talking and talking a lot, all the time, and most of the things it says don't have any sense, right? But I'm just talking and talking, and for talking you need to breathe, right? Because if you don't breathe, you're going to choke. So my mind is just talking and it's not breathing, and I'm getting suffocated in my head, and I don't like that feeling. Slowly I am learning to breathe, and not only to breathe when I'm sleeping, because even my dreams are disturbing, and I think they are like signals, or not signals. I think they might mean something that I don't understand, because they are dreams, just dreams, but they might mean something that is wrong with me, and then that I haven't found out. I hope you don't hear the stupid ambulance that doesn't let me record. I'm sorry, I am in a public park. I wanted to record this video for a long time, probably 1 or 2 weeks, but I couldn't find out the right place. I thought it was my home, but I didn't feel comfy making it when my parents were there. Like, they would be like, why are you talking to the camera in English? And today I was supposed to be studying, but I didn't feel like studying. And I said, you know what? It's now or never. I let a lot of opportunities go because I took too much time thinking if I should or should not make it. And I feel like this is the right thing to do. To be listened, even only for me, because I don't think anyone is going to watch the full video. Uh, yeah, I'm not famous, of course. Almost nobody knows me in YouTube. And my friends, I don't think they want to spend half of an hour of their lives watching me talk because it's not something interesting. It would be more interesting if I was actually talking to them, but as I said, I can't be myself when I'm with someone else. Sometimes I can get closer, of course, but that usually doesn't happen a lot. You always need some impulse to make it easier, some motivation. And all of what I said previously is the main reason of my extremely low motivation towards life nowadays. I don't want to kill myself, and I don't want to hurt myself either. I mean, physically hurt myself. I used to think that was the way out, you see, but what's the guarantee that I won't suffer when I'm dead? There is no guarantee. We are condemned, you see. We need to be conscious, we need to go through pain to understand things. And that's what I'm doing right now. And now that I have said it, I feel better, a little bit better. It might be very cringy to watch, and I'm not going to watch it. Probably I'm just going to put it on YouTube or something. If someone has made it this far, thank you for listening.